Now, will they be doing like regular outreach stuff?
As you start building the house, people start gathering, depending on the neighborhood. But people start coming. So after a while, you know, like there'll be, especially kids, you know, there'll be 20 or 30 kids that show up, you know, after like the second day. So it's a great opportunity if you have people that want to do, you know, crafts and a Bible lesson or anything like that, you know. And so there's some great opportunities if you want to take them. You know, that's not something you have to do.
Right.
Our main evangelistic method is, you know, sort of hold a cup of water through building a house.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of opportunities, and some of the other things too. You know, will be as some other needs come up, we'll take care of them, and we'll kind of ask around. There's just some people that just need rides to the hospital,
okay,
or the clinic, or something along those lines, and they just, even though it's only a couple miles, they just can't make it. So since we have vans, we'll cart people around as needed, cool, and whatever else. Last year in my Speed the Light truck, I was here, and there was an old guy, he's like 80 years old and had high blood pressure. He needed a wheelchair, and there's a ministry where they get mountain bikes and wheelchairs donated,
really,
and they, you know, sort of make a mix of the two.
Wow.
Sort of an island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
Wheelchairs.
The mountain bike wheelchair, huh?
Because it's, you know, obviously regular wheelchair tires are not good off the pavement, and there's no pavement here except for the one road we're on. So we took him up there, and also the guy, we went to his house, and he had an orange crate that they had cut the top out of with a 5-gallon bucket was their toilet.
Oh, wow.
But he couldn't really make it up there anymore. And
wow.
I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, spare the gory details. So we were able to get him a one of those toilet seat deals, you know, where it's the transfer seat,
yeah,
for people that are in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's higher and everything. They're meant to be put over a toilet. In that case, it would still be over the bucket, but, you know, it's
a step up.
A big upgrade from going in the living room. You know?
Right.
So we get in, and in all my years, I've never seen, you know, I used to do summer camps, and we would, when I was a teenager, work summer camps, and we'd check the kids for lice. So you check and see if they got eggs in their hair, and that's how you know if they have lice. Never, in the hundreds of cases I've seen, I've never actually seen a louse. These people were actually crawling with lice.
Oh, wow.
Like they're like, you know, 1/8 of an inch. I've never seen anything like it, and they're just, wow. I mean, there's lice on their shoulders, and their 5-year-old daughter, she's got black hair, you know, and she's got a part in the middle, and you can see the lice just crawling across the part.
Wow.
And they're riding in the car. Like,
oh my goodness.
So fortunately, I was able to go to the little pharmacy and like, they need something for lice. They know exactly what we're talking about right away. Down here, a place called International Discipleship Training, and they've built a lot of houses around here, and they have a good relationship with the churches and in the neighborhoods and with the locals, so that they have a really good understanding of sort of the accountability process. Okay. And, you know, just kind of, so it's not just a bunch of dumb Americans throwing around money.
Right.
You know.
So they keep contact with them even after we're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people that are really in need, and they continue to use the house as, if the family is a Christian, they use that, continue to stay in contact with them, and kind of using that as a continually evangelistic process. And so it's a really good setup.
That is cool.
The dad left. And what happened is they had like 7 kids or 6 kids, and then mom got pregnant with twins.
Oh, wow.
One of the twins was born blind, deaf, and pretty much brain dead.
Oh.
And so we knew there was supposed to be 8 kids, but we didn't know the whole story. And the dad wasn't there, and probably recognized the truck. The dad wasn't there, and they, there's only 7 kids, and then we asked the mom, like, where's the other kid? She took us in. They were all living in basically a shack like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All 8 of them.
Wow.
And she took us in, and under like 3 sets of blankets, there's this little baby like this big. We went, oh, you have a baby, and she goes, well, no, it's the twin of the 5-year-old that was there.
Oh, wow.
It was just so sickly and everything. And then they were telling us basically that the missionaries were telling us basically normally they would just not feed the baby or just smother it and let it die or whatever, but she was kind of doing the best she could or whatever.
Wow.
And, so we took the baby to the clinic, and they thought maybe, there might be some hope. But the baby died like 2 weeks later.
Oh.
So we came back last summer. We came back a couple months later, and the dad was back. I didn't really know, we didn't have anybody speaking Spanish with us, so we were all just sitting around looking at each other. And so we didn't know what the deal was, why the dad was back. So when we came back last summer, we finally got the whole story that what happened is the dad came back for the funeral, and then was just so surrounded by all these Christian people from the clinic and everything else that they were just he ended up accepting the Lord and came back to live with his family and whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And through that whole process too, there was a French doctor or Canadian doctor, one of the two, that was at the clinic, who was kind of helping him out a little bit. And he asked the little brother, the little 5-year-old, he said that, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he says, oh, I want to be a doctor like you. And he said, and he thought, oh, it's kind of cute, this kid wants to be a doctor or whatever. He said, why do you want to be a doctor? And he said, because little boys like my twin brother, Stefan, shouldn't have to die just because they're born here.
Wow.
And so the doctor actually set up a trust fund for that kid, so if he goes to college, that he'll pay his way all the way through medical school.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's much more than just building a house. It's a lot of...
Yeah, it's just a way to connect with people. You can see, like, there's a missionary built house right there. You can tell because they have that same look. It's kind of like California tract housing.
Ah.
How big are the houses that you guys build?
20 by 22.
Okay, so those are bigger.
Yeah, last time we got to bring some of our construction workers with us.
Oh, it's up here.
So that worked out pretty good for us.
And we're set up with